Thanks. So obviously, great win. I mean, anytime you can come from behind against a closer like that, it's a good win. I mean, obviously, disappointed that we had a 5-0 lead with our number one guy in the mound and had to come from behind. But that's college baseball. You know, Northeastern's obviously got a really good team, and they battled and they punched some runs across, and we made a couple of mistakes defensively, and all of a sudden found ourselves behind, and we got a clutch hit from Brock Wilken. I mean, just can't say enough about Brock Wilken and what he's shown us early this year. But obviously today, coming up in that situation, to put that good of a swing on a guy that's got a good sinking fastball and stay inside that ball and hit it out of the ballpark. I mean, just a clutch at bat. And was really happy with our bullpen. Again, Crawford Wade, I felt like nibbled a little bit on that 3-2 pitch, that first walk. Maybe hung that breaking ball on the single up the middle, but otherwise made a really big pitch on a 3-2 changeup to a really good hitter, Fair. And then obviously Adler, also 0-2 base hit. But other than that, I thought threw the ball pretty well. And then same thing, obviously Manassi 3 up, 3 down in the ninth. I mean, if we had the lead earlier, we probably would have went to McGraw in that situation. But Cam was ready, and he's been throwing the ball just as well as Teddy. So instead of, getting Teddy heated up and possibly burning Cam and Teddy, we just ran with Cam, and obviously he came through and made some big pitches there in the ninth. So, really great team win. I didn't think we swung the bats real well tonight. Obviously chased some too many pitches out of the zone. I think we were kind of pressing a little bit early and, maybe some early season stuff, but really pleased with the win.
A little disappointed that when you had Murphy on the ropes early, you weren't able to go ahead and deliver that knockout punch and get into their pen a little bit earlier in this first game of the 3-game series.
Without question, Les. I mean, we had him over 60 pitches through 3 innings, and then he went out there in the fourth and had a 7-pitch inning, and in the fifth had a 10-pitch inning. And we talked about that after the game. So, it really kept him in the game, kept us from getting a little deeper into their bullpen. You always want to be deep into a bullpen on Fridays. But, yeah, I mean, we talked after the game. That's exactly what I said to them in the game. We've got to do a better job in those middle innings of grinding at bats.
Well, we heard about Brock Wilken in the last month or so. I'm sure he came in and was really good all throughout the fall. But did you have any sense of something clutch like this being in the cards for him? Is that something you can judge before a season starts, or is it something you just have to get him out there under the lights?
Yeah, I mean, again, you never 100% know until you get him under the lights. But again, he's such a tough kid. He's a gamer. He plays hard. We put him back behind the plate the last 2 weeks because Tinsman's been out and he's been getting beat up back there. But he's kind of, just did it for the team and didn't get the reps at third that he would have otherwise gotten. But he never complained, and he just kind of showed up every day. He's one of the hardest workers on the team, And again, all our freshmen, I mean, obviously we put Wade into a huge situation tonight. We put Manassi into a huge situation tonight. Jimmy Broderick goes out there as a freshman and turns a big double play for us. So, we're playing some young guys, and they're going out there and playing well.
This is a hypothetical you might not be interested in at this point, but with the high school career that Brock had, is he a guy that in a normal draft year you might not have him at school?
I thought we had a good chance to lose him. I think there's going to be a lot of Florida area scouts that are going to have some hard questions to answer in 3 years when, he's high up the board, and we got some general managers calling their Florida guy and saying, "How come you didn't have this dude in 3 years ago?" So I think there's going to be some scouts with some questions to answer. I think for sure.
How would you rate Ryan's start tonight?
I thought it was really good. I mean, obviously, he came out, he was so sharp early. And, I think maybe he emptied the tank a little too quick. I mean, I thought I did a poor job of communicating with him in the 6th inning. I probably should have taken that trip in the 6th just to let him know that this was his last inning. I think he was maybe trying to save a little something to get into the 7th. When I should have gone out there and communicated to him, or at least had John to communicate to him that, hey, empty the tank here. Again, it was a 5-1 game. We got 2 outs and nobody on in a 5-1 game in the 6th. We really need one more out. And it's 5-1, and that changes the whole complexion of the game. But, give Northeastern again credit. They hit a couple ground ball singles and then doubled down the line, and all of a sudden it was 5-3. and change the entire game. So again, sometimes you got to tip your caps to the other guy. They did a great job on them, battling all day. They out hit us today, obviously. And, and we knew coming into this, they had a really good team, but I thought Ryan's outing was really good. If I had to do anything different, I think I would just communicated with him a little better in that 6th inning to let him know, hey, this is your last inning, empty the tank right here.
Well, there's some flair to Cam Manassi. Is that something that showed up in the last few weeks or few months?
We love it. I mean, we call him the bird after Mark Fidrich. He's a guy. He was coming in. When we were down 1, I got him up. Teddy was going to come in when we had the lead, and then all of a sudden we were down 1. So the plan was Adler in the 8th and McGraw in the 9th. And then all of a sudden we got down 1. So I ran Manassi down there to get him ready right away. And he was ready. So again, I didn't want to burn Manassi and McGraw and Cam. Like I said earlier, Cam's been throwing the ball just as well as Teddy, and I trust both those guys in that situation. So since Cam was ready, we just rolled with him, and obviously he got it done. But I love the flair. I mean, he's such a good kid and hard worker, and he just wants the ball. He's a competitor.
What's kind of the sense in the dugout is you go through that 8th inning and you suddenly find yourself down 6-5. After starting off 5-0, it's probably a position you never thought your team would be in tonight after that hot start.
Yeah, it got quiet in our dugout. I'm not going to lie. That kind of when we lost the lead, it took the wind out of our sails a little bit, and and obviously was disappointing. But again, we had a veteran team. I thought Bobby Seymour obviously had a good hard 90 on that ball. That would be very easy on that ball to kind of coast it into first base and get thrown out. And Bobby had a good hard 90. Michael Ludwig was willing to walk with 2 outs and hand the bat off to Brock Wilkins. So thought we had some good mature at bats in that inning that led to the homer. And that's something this offense should be able to do all year is hurt you from different parts of the lineup.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Walt.
Hey, Brock.
What's up?
Unless John's a Demon Deacon Digest. The other guy I'll be talking to is Connor O'Neill. We've heard a lot about you in the last month and a half from Coach Walter. But what was that feeling like for you to hit the game-winning, 3-run bomb like that? Just walk us through what you're seeing on that pitch and what that whole experience was like.
Yeah, that was honestly the sickest moment of my entire life so far. Honestly, I can't credit any of that success in that whole inning to myself. I mean, I just got to give it to Bobby Seymour and Michael Ludwig. Bobby had a great 90 down the line, beat out that throw, and then Michael Ludwig, he earns that walk, and me and him are just looking at each other like, let's go, this is it. And I just got a good pitch and a good count that I could handle and put a good swing on it, and it just went, and that was so cool.
Did you know right off that it was gone?
I had a good feeling, for sure. I kind of was hoping it was gone. If it wasn't, that would have been pretty bad. But I mean, it wouldn't have been terrible, but would have been way cooler if it did, and it did. So,
how much of the moment do you remember? I think you had a couple of jumps before you even got to first base. Like, do you even remember doing that stuff, or was that just in the moment?
Dude, I just honestly remember hitting it, and then next thing I know, I'm like rounding first, and then next thing I know, I'm rounding third, and the next thing I know, I'm with my teammates. It was just like in and out moments. It was so cool. It was so cool.
What's it been like for you to come into a team that has so many veteran guys that are in front of you in the lineup? Like, I mean, in a normal year, these guys would be in professional baseball.
For sure.
So what's it been like to try to come into a situation like this where you have so many older guys in front of you?
For sure. Honestly, those older guys really helped me. Bobby Seymour, Chris Lanzilli, Michael Ludwig, Shane Muntz, all of those guys are really helping me, preparing me and for the next steps. And honestly, I'm just kind of focusing in on my roles and listening to those guys and what they have to say and learning from them. And obviously, I mean, those are some of the best hitters in the country. So, I mean, I'm learning everything I have, or everything. I'm learning a bunch of stuff from them.
you find yourself trying to pick their brains any chance you get, and anytime
100%.
you guys aren't wearing masks?
Yeah, 100%. Even when we are wearing masks, I'm asking them questions. Especially during the game, I'll be like, Bob, you think I should try to elevate on this count, on this pitcher, and they'll shoot you straight to it. That's what I really appreciate is those guys, and they just give it to me straight, and they'll be like, nah, I just try to stay you, do you. And so I really appreciate those guys helping me out.
What's the adjustment been like for you? For it's not just Wake baseball, but college life in general for the last few months. What's that adjustment been like for you, Brock?
It's definitely been an experience. I can say with 100% certainty that I was ready to come play college baseball, and I was ready for that change. So, I mean, I feel like it's just been a couple adjustments with my routine. I feel like that's the biggest part of everything. But other than that, I feel like it's been a good adjustment for me.
Brock, do you think in a normal draft year last season you would have been drafted and you might not have been at Wake Forest at this point?
Honestly, I honestly don't even know. I mean, it just depended on a lot of things, and that just didn't happen. And it was iffy at the moment. And if I was mature enough to go, or if I needed to mature a little more for 3 years. And I definitely got a couple calls, but I think I needed to come play college baseball for a little bit, to mature and learn a lot more. And I definitely think I made the right decision.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Brock.
Thanks, Brock.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, dude.